Hello everybody! Today I want to show you all a little something I've been working on for a couple of months. I'm calling it Feathers and Flame because it combines Niri and Noctalia to bring together a gorgeous and efficient desktop experience for cachyos Linux. I personally think this is the best possible combination when it comes to aesthetics, performance, and workflow on a computer. And after using the system for a while, I can tell you that I am incredibly pleased with how this has turned out. So today I'm going to give you all a bit of a showcase and show you how to install this setup for yourself if you decide you want to. Alright, let's get going. So first things first, this is a keyboard-driven setup. That means you use the mouse as little as possible, and everything is very snappy and quick with the keyboard. All of your standard window movement operations, that's the keyboard. Launch an app, that's the keyboard. Then we've got some nice aesthetic decisions in the configs for Noctalia, and that brings us on to the wallpapers and theming, my favorite part. Feathers and Flame can download a whole bunch of nice wallpapers for you right when you install it, and based on which wallpaper you choose, the whole system will change theme to match. Very cohesive. By default, the color scheme is generated from the image itself, but you can even specify a particular theme to use per background. Then there are keybinds to get a random wallpaper from the main set, or even a random wallpaper from some category that you set up yourself. Those different categories are bound to the number keys, and for example, you can set up one for pixel art like I've done here, or different colors, or whatever you want. Then mod shift number will choose a file from that particular category. If you want to override the generated color scheme with a particular color scheme, then you add the name of the color scheme you want to the end of the file name of the wallpaper. To go with the wallpaper, we've got this cool procedurally generated bonsai tree screensaver, which also displays a random line from a cryptic poem I accidentally wrote at 2 AM. Because what would this system be without the absolute necessities? All of these pretty visual effects are governed by a comprehensive set of Niri window rules that even includes my own custom hot swapping system where you can toggle different rule sets based on a keybind, for example global transparency. Then we've got WL Sunset hooked up to Noctalia so you can avoid burning your eyes out at night. It oddly enough doesn't show up on OBS, so here's a nice phone recording instead. On to the applications. First, we've got a very clean Noctalia launcher where I have hidden all of the unnecessary desktop entries that you can see in this folder, so that only what you actually want to see shows up. Then we've got a couple browsers that you can have installed, namely the Mulvad browser and the Tor browser. These are both good options for privacy. The browsers have their own keybinds, and we've also got keybinds for sharing files via local send. For example, if we make this file that has some text for the clipboard and copy it, we can chuck that through local send using the hotkey mod alt S. Next up, we've got LazyVim, changes theme with the system, of course. I've added the plugin mini.map for the nice little summary at the right side of the screen there. But just in general, the keybinds from LazyVim are great. You can toggle the little file explorer, scroll around on the mini-map, split the screen to see multiple files at once, all just using the keyboard alone. Never have to touch the mouse again in your life. It's amazing. Next up is TLP for Advanced Power Management on laptops. It's just sitting there waiting for you to go through its checkboxes and decide what's best for your system. And on the subject of optimizations, we've also got game mode installed with the recommended configs, and that will allow you to launch certain applications, i.e. games, with the game mode run command for extra performance while that application is running. Finally, we've got Virt-Manager set up with Qemu out of the box. This will allow you to run virtual machines with great performance, and it allows me to demonstrate the automatic limbing snapshots you get, as well as the encrypted auto login feature that saves you from having to type your password twice in a row. So then, how do you get your hands on some of this? Well, the installer instructions are on GitHub along with the source code, but here I'll do a quick little video overview. First, you get yourself a cachyos stick, and you boot off it, and you start the installer. Select your language and your region and your keyboard layout, and then make sure you select Limin as your bootloader, and encrypt with BTRFS your drive. The password you use here will be the same as your login password later. Select Niri as your desktop environment, and then you can unselect Firefox since we'll install our own browsers later. Here again, choose the same password as before, and then you're ready to click install. The installer will take some time, and when it's done, you reboot, launch into Linux cachyos, and then you'll have to type your encryption password to get to this login screen the first time. Then we're ready to run the setup script. Type in the command on screen, which will redirect to the clone script on GitHub to make sure everything ends up in the right place. Then we're into the proper installer, and you can select what you want from the components list here. Keep in mind there are 2 pages, and then it will ask you for confirmation for the components that you've selected. You're free to select or deselect whatever you want, it'll still work. That'll run again for a while, and then you reboot, and once you're in here, your system is configured with Feathers and Flame. With that out of the way, you can start perusing for your favorite background image, and all that's left is for me to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy this setup as much as I enjoyed making it. Have a wonderful day, take care, bye bye.